People ask me all the time. I give every time I teach soldiers and such, and do crisis trainings and such. I talk about meditation, and people think it's like this crazy new age hippie thing. It's not a new age hippie thing. Seriously, people. Um, you're giving away tools because you have some prejudice against new age and hippies. Uh, some of the hardest working people I know are hippies. Anyway, beside the point. Um, Meditation. A lot of people think that meditation is let's get my mind in this perfectly tranquil state of quiet and clarity and no squirrel brain. So they'll sit down and they'll go something like this. They'll light some incense and they'll sit down and they're like, oh, my butt itches. Oh shit. And then their brain is like, what if we do this or Game of Thrones is on, you know nothing, Jon Snow, or a million fucking thoughts, right? So all these thoughts are popping into your head, and it's like just a ping pong ball of bouncy, bouncy, bouncy thoughts or so. And they're like, I can't do meditation. And not the case. So meditation, entering into it, there's different types of meditation. There's different forms. Transcendental meditation, loving kindness meditation, all kinds of meditation. I'm just going to talk about one that's going to build awareness, all right? And there's tons of good books out there. Lots of good books. Hell, I got, what's the name of the book? Focus, Daniel Goleman. Or Daniel Goleman. Just look up author Daniel Goleman, and you'll see a book that he wrote about meditation. It brings in a lot of psychology into it. John Kabat-Zinn has a book on meditation, and nope, I don't have one. I thought I brought one about meditation, but I don't have one here. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about one type. And this one type will help tremendously if you do this regularly. So here's the thing. You got to do this regularly. All right? It's like training for a marathon. You're not going to be in shape to run a marathon because you're like, hey, let's go run once. And then that's it. You're not going to get the benefits of meditation just because you do it one time. You got to do it all the stinking time. And very importantly is that it's regularly, every day. So people ask me, like, how long do I meditate? I mean, it's just like that. I mean, they'll be talking fine just like this, but when they get to the question, they just switch into, how long do I meditate? It's kind of strange. Anyway, my answer is, how long can you do it? So if you can't do 10 minutes a day, do 5 minutes. If you can't do 5 minutes, do 2 minutes. If you can't do 2 minutes, do 30 seconds. On a side note, Thich Nhat Hanh, Buddhist monk, has a Plum Village retreat. He was in poor health recently, and people all over the world and stuff was like, we were worried about him and his birthday and such. And so what he put out there was like, for his birthday, and please, I appreciate your loving, gestures and gifts, but my gift, if you want to give me a gift, make tea. Was his thing. So his thing was like, if you're making tea, you're actually pouring the hot water and you're seeping it and you're smelling it and you're paying attention to what you're doing. That's a mindfulness exercise. And he's written a lot of books. Just pick up any of his books, any one. Don't care. Just go buy one, read it. It's awesome. So here's an introduction. Here's a basic intro to meditation. All right. So you're going to sit there. You're going to set a timer for 30 seconds, for a minute, for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Right? And you're going to sit there and you're going to focus on something. Pick something you can focus on. And I just got a text message. Bam. Whatever. All right. So I'm going to put this on Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb. All right. Bam. So you're going to focus on something. What a lot of people talk about is the breath. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. You can get really in depth about like I'm feeling the breath as it goes in, the temperature, I'm feeling it go through my lungs and the nostrils and all that. Sure, but you can also at the basic level just count. I'm breathing in one time. I'm breathing out one time. You're saying that to yourself. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Before long, your brain is just going to be like, squirrel. squirrel, 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 squirrel. I mean, it'll be all over the place. A lot of people, and see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know really how zigzaggedy, bamboozled just their brain is. We live in a world of habitual reaction to thought processes. One thing pops in. It's not even an awareness. It just pops up in our world at some level. We catch it and we various thoughts, and before you know it, we're 12 thoughts this direction, which may be a helpful thought or it may be a negative thought or not so helpful, right? And before you know it, we're different emotional states. We're reacting. We're saying things, doing things that we weren't really wanting to do. Mindfulness will help do with that. So, what a lot of people say is to do the breath, breathe in, breathe out. There's also these. You can get, I bought these. These are great. These are eucalyptus seeds. These are gorgeous, right? I made these. I mean, how many meat? Well, this is 108, but does it have to be 108? Hell no. This is like, I don't know, that many. All right. So whatever. Just just one bead, two beads, three beads, four beads, five. I'm gonna go slower as meditation be like this. See how slow I'm going? But before long, I'm like, oh, my butt itches. Oh, my back's tight. What time is this? Do I have to set the alarm tomorrow? Well, do I have plenty of coffee? No such thing, right? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Whenever your mind goes to anything else, whatever it is that you're focusing on, whenever it shifts to whatever, it doesn't matter. Um, counting beads, and all of a sudden you realize, there's a moment when you realize that you're not paying attention to the thing that you started to. Breath, beads, whatever. When that happens, don't chastise yourself. Don't say, I suck at meditation. No. Your brain is doing what brains do. Brains are geared for that. Brains, because of our evolutionary history, are always looking out in the world around us. They're always looking at inside. They're always trying to make a connection what's happening outside to what's happening inside. It's trying to build connections to things. So the brain does. The brain is a pattern-seeking machine. So it's looking for patterns. It's always looking for patterns. Generally short term. It can't see long-term patterns like climate change. Can't see that shit. We got to use models and stuff. It's looking for short-term patterns like rustling leaves equals predator equals I'm going to be lunch. Get the fuck out of Dodge, right? The brain is geared for that sort of stuff, all right? It does good to remember what we did last week to build a pattern for that. Last time you ate that, you got sick. Brain don't care about that really. We have to remind ourselves, all the time. And it usually comes in from your friend going, dude, Taco Bell messed you up. All right, whatever. So when you leave, your brain does what it normally does, just goes to something else. That's when you stop and you go back to that point. The beads, the breath, whatever it is. You go on to that and you go back to what you're doing. Just no chastising, no or nothing. Just breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Fuck yeah, the Cubs are doing awesome this year. This is the year right here. I mean, we have the best record in baseball. The number 1, number 2, and number 4 best ERAs in the league are Cub pitchers. Oh yeah, I'm not thinking. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Fuck yeah, Ariana. Right, 2 years in a row, no nose. Wow. Oh yeah, breathing in, breathing out. See, just like that. There was no stop it. There was none of that. All right. Because the brain does that. The brain jumps. The brain jumps to thoughts. It just does. What you are training, there's a part of your brain that is jumping all over the place, like, hey, it's the little puppy. Hey, what's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? And there's another part of the brain that's watching what the puppy's doing. Well, this part of the brain is really small. And this part of the brain is jumping all over the place. Every time you notice that the puppy has gone from what you were originally focused on, and this part of the brain notices it, it may take 5 minutes. That's why meditate so long. It may take 5 minutes before you realize, oh, you weren't focused on something, what you were supposed to be. This part of the brain goes, hey, puppy. And puppy goes, what? Oh, yeah. Comes back over here, right? This part gets a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. And every time you do it, you go through meditation. Every time you realize your focus is on something else and you bring it back, this part of the brain that is monitoring all of this, gets a little bit stronger. So when the brain does this normal stuff, this part of the brain is able to sit back and go, all right, I like where this is going. Let's see where this train of thought goes. You know what? This is not useful. Let's bring it back some. Let's go down this pattern. Because the brain is like, not this road, gone, right? It is awesome at just going down roads. You are cultivating the ability to stop it from going down a road and say, no, that road instead. Actually, that road. That's what you're cultivating. And so that's going to give you much more control over your reactions, much more control over your emotional world, much more control over everything in your life. That part right there. But you have to do it every day. You've got to do it regularly. And so if you don't want to do like the big cushion, like, if you don't want to do that, fine. What do you do? So, see, I'll show you. What I tell people all the time is like, if you don't want to do that, you know, I talk to a lot of law enforcement and such, and they're like, man, that's kind of hippie-fied. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm like, do this research. There's police departments that are doing this sort of thing, and it improves your tactical ability to respond accurately and efficiently. Yes, meditation, mindfulness-based stress reduction has helped police departments respond quicker to the appropriate threat. That is a win situation. So what I tell them all the time is to disassemble their weapon. So clean a weapon. So when you get your weapon, clean it, all right? So, and feel that weight. Actually feel the weight and smell it and get your cleaning materials and clean it and pay attention to it. It's like that, you know, the scene in Full Metal Jacket where he's like talking to himself. All right, we don't want to be like that, right? But he was focused on his weapon, right? I mean, give him that. He was focused. Yes, it just slides right in there. Right? So feel it, smell the oil, watch it, you know, notice the carbon buildup on it and clean that areas and everything. And when you notice that your attention is leaving the weapon and going to something else, like, I gotta pay Comcast cable, those overpriced motherfuckers. Oh yeah, back to the weapon. Every time your brain leaves and goes someplace else, bring it back to the weapon. It's the same thing. Beads or a weapon, doesn't matter. As long as you're focused on something, and every time it leaves and you bring it back, that is meditation. Which is why Thich Nhat Hanh said, make tea. So that's meditation in a nutshell, an introduction to it. Do it every day. Find something that's good for you. And namaste, bitches.